Hello everyone. So in this video what we will be doing is a couple of experimentation just to see test the idea that Harlan had put out a couple of days ago, or asked a couple of days ago on Twitter, about how do the values in the run key get disabled. So it seems there is a way to disable these values that are in the run key. So even if you find a value in the run key, it does not mean once the user logs into the system, it's gonna run, and we'll show that in a little bit. So Harlan was asking, how do these do people really check them? Like if I go and see within the let's go there actually. So if I go to the run key, and then if let's assume there was some value here, we're gonna do a couple of testing to prove the idea. So if I see a couple of values over here, does that mean those values are gonna run? So in the past, really, I personally thought yes. I didn't know about this, what Harlan was talking about, but it turned out that there's a value if set within the startup approved run. So if a value was set here, we'll see that in a little bit, then the value in your run will actually not be working. So it's there, yes, but is it going to be executed at login time? The answer is no, it's not going to be there, depending definitely on the value in here. Okay, we'll see those values. I'm going to talk about all of them. So that's number one. Number two is, when do these values get here? Like if I add a value in the run key, so if I add a value in the run key, okay, if I have, and I'm using the user hive, so we don't need even admin. So if let's say I add a value and it ends up here, so it's in the user, we target the user hive. So we add a value, okay. Does that mean this value automatically will go to the startup approved? The answer is no. How does it get here? That's what I'm going to show you in a little bit, and we'll see that, walk through it together. So again, if we see the user run, we have nothing there, but let's go ahead and really add a value, and let's just add a value that will actually run this bear tail. So this is just any executable, standalone executable, which is used for like monitoring logs, thanks to Hasharzadi, the one who actually pointed out to this. I never even knew about it before. So let's just add a value. Okay, so if we do reg and then add hive key current user, hive key current user, hive key current user, yes, and then we have software Microsoft. Okay, and then we have current version. We could have actually copied it from here, so run, but anyway, I'm nearly done. And then let's do, for example, I'm going to call it test run key. You'll see why, because actually I created a basic code, which is this one, just to do disabling it. So we'll use that in a little bit. And then test, and then we want the type of to be a string. So reg sz, then d to add, and then we need to put the path. So it's c users IE user desktop, and then bear tail. Okay, and then at the end /f. So operation successful. As you can see now, if I hit F5, and if I go hit F5, where did this go? Where did I add that? Okay, so you can see it over here. It's weird that it didn't get added. So let's just add a bookmark here. I'm not sure why. 100, okay. Did I forget to add hive key? So reg add hive key, software Microsoft Windows. Oh, okay. sorry, I know what I missed here. So hive key, so let's go back. Let me delete this. We don't need that. Let's just double check here that we don't have anything, which is good. And then run, nothing, good. We want to add it over here, by the way. I forgot the word Windows. So if we could just go back and then add the Hive software, Microsoft, and then we just add Windows here. Yep, this will be good. Now if we refresh, yeah. So what happens now is we have this test run, which will, once I log in again, will do execute this one. So let's log out and log back in just to see, does this really work? So let's do that, and I can drink a little bit of coffee. Okay, so let's wait a little bit. Our bear tail should work. Great. So our settings is currently correct. Okay, we can see this is here, and now if we go, we can we go to approved, so we don't see anything here. Now another thing that I would just want to do quickly, and which is, where is that? So data, test, get these tools, and let's say if I go to dfir, reg repair, let's get this, or actually let's just pull cmd here. So rip, if we do rip minus, let's actually just first thing save the registry. So reg save, and then we have hive key current user, and then NTUSER.DAT. Okay, and then we do NTUSER1. System was unable to find the key or the value. Oh, I forgot, sorry. So who am I? And then user, we need the, so now, yeah, this is, so we need this. Okay, then NTUSER.DAT, and let's call it IE user. Okay, so why is this happening? Oh, sorry, hive key user. Yeah, I just need, yeah, that's fine, no problem. Let's just do this. Now I know I was checking the wrong way. So if I go, let's just get this, sorry. So cd here, g, okay, so reg save, then hive key user. I was calling the hive key users, so hive key user, and then we want the, come on, please, can you be helpful? Yeah, okay, NTUSER IE user .dat. So what did I miss this time? Okay, yes, overwrite it, please. Okay, so we now have the hive key. Okay, we can do the NTUSER and then minus plugin, and we want to run the plugin, which is the run, to double check. So what we can see is we do have in our run, see, what do we have? We have a call called test run to our iUser desktop, etc. Okay, we don't have under our startup approved anything, so which is good. We don't want that yet because we are doing our tests. So everything is working exactly like we want. Now Harlan's question was at the end of his blog post was, then if that value, which is over here, how does it get to the approved? Like, how does it get here? Now my answer is like this. This is how it gets there. So if you right click, go to task manager, and now you hit F5, there's nothing yet, but the minute you go to startup, so once you go here and then now you hit F5, it gets there. So once you get to, just open this tab, once you open it, then now the value is over here. Now 2, as you can see, if you double click on it, 2, when you see this value, it means it's enabled. And as you can see here, it is enabled. Okay, as you can see here, it is actually what? Enabled. So what we can do now is, if we log out, just to make sure we have our test right, if we log out and log back in, so if we log out, log back in, let's just get our registry. It should work. See, the bear tail is working just as expected. Why? Because it is, first, it's over here. That's 1. 2, if we go to run approved, it is enabled. It is what? It is enabled. Now, we can definitely, by the way, disable it from here. We can just go here and then right click and say disable. We can do that. But I've also created this tool, basic code, just to do that. So let's do that. So if I disable the key now, okay, and if I hit F5, you can see the value is now 3. So now let's log out, log back in, and see what's going to happen. So log out and then log back in. And you'll see it will not work. Why? Because it now is disabled. It's not going to work now. Why? Because it's there. That's true. Okay, it is there, but it's not going to execute. Why? Because it has been disabled. And if we go to Task Manager as well and look at Startup, we can see it has been disabled. So Harlan wanted to prove that just because we have a value in the run key, okay, just because I have a value here does not mean that that value is going to be executed. How can we prove it was executed? We need to double check what the startup approved location key. So if we go here and then we find the same exact value, if it has a value 2, then that value is enabled. But if it has a value anything other than 2, which based on the test which I did, then it will be what? It will be actually disabled. Let's just add another key, by the way. Let's just add another one. So let's just add another one and we'll disable it from here, because sometimes, by the way, my code just disables adds 3, but here you'll see a value is different, which kind of proves that the value, if it's 2 or anything, if it's 2, it's gonna run, it's enabled. If it's anything other than 2, at least based on the testing that I've seen, it will be what? It will be disabled. So let's just do that. So Hive key, current user, and then we have software, Microsoft, okay, Microsoft, yes, Windows, and then current version, okay, then run, and then let's just add, for example, the decode, which we also have it on the desktop. Let's call it decode, okay, and then this type of, it's a reg like string, okay, and then we'll add the path. So the path is C users, i.e. user desktop. Then we'll do the decode. So that's the path, okay, and then just operation completed successfully. We can see we have a value over here, and by the way, if I just click F5, there's nothing there. Why? Because we haven't played with it yet. But if we go to our user run, we can see decode is what is actually over there. So let's close this and let's go to approved. There's nothing there, and let's see now if we log out, log in, what should we see? We should see the decode application should start, but the bear tail should not start because it has been disabled. Okay, so let's do that. And I also want to show when we disable it from what? From the task manager. So it should run. Let's just give it a little bit. Okay, so it's here, so it will run. Great. And then now if we go to startup approved, it's still not there. But now if I go to task manager and click startup, okay, if I F5 again, see what happened? So the immediately once you go there, it appears over here. Okay, it appears over here. Now as you can see, the decode has a value 2, which means it's enabled. Now if I come here and just right click and say disable, okay, so I disabled it. Now look at the value here, look at the value, okay. Now it became some other value, I don't know what this is, okay. It became some other value over here, which is also means it is what? It is disabled. So if I go log out again and log out and log back in, so if I do that, you'll see that this time bear tail did not work and decode actually will also not work. Why? Because they have been disabled, and this is what Harlan wanted actually to answer this question, and also to say like bring awareness to people that just because we have the values over here, yes they are there, now I logged into the system, but they did not get executed. So just because they are there, it doesn't mean they will be executed, by the way. And I hope this video now proved it for you, and yes, hope it was a good hope you learned something from it, and hopefully we'll see you in some other video. Before I end, actually, let me do one thing. Let me just do one thing. I forgot. It's good that I remembered. So if we go to tools, dfir, ledger repair, let's get this. So cd there, g, okay. So rip, and then what do we want to do is we want to check the hives. So actually let me extract a new one, because now we have changes, right? So let's do cd c users ie desktop, okay, reg c, and before I do that, let me do the who am I, because I keep forgetting, like, okay, now reg save hive key user, and then let's get this, and then let's just call it NTUSER-IE user.dat. So we have that now, and now we can run our reg ripper. So rip.exe -r, we have our hive on users, IE user desktop, and then it is called NTUSER. The plugin we want to run is run, so let's do that just to see. So if we go there, we can see we do have these values over there. Okay, we do have these values over there, but under here startup approved, it seems it doesn't show anything. But if we go over here, it is there actually. So that's one of the things that you probably need to keep in mind. Let's actually also check the plugin, see Harlan's plugin again. Let's just double check that quickly. Now I'm not a Perl guy, but probably I can definitely at least read a little bit of this. So Harlan is checking these values. So does this fall under that? So this is under the software hive, startup approved, and also on the end user hive. Also, he is checking those. I'm not sure why they were not listed, by the way. So probably that's another reason why Harlan wanted people to check, that he wanted to tell people that, hey, just because you're on the run key and it says there's nothing there, validate your work, because there is something there. As you can see here, there is really there's two values actually here, while over here the output, there's nothing there. So I think it was a really interesting case. I learned from it, and I hope you learn from it, and hopefully we'll see you in some other video. Big thanks to Harlan Carvey. I would highly recommend you check his blog. He's been posting on his blog for probably more than a decade by now, and it's really one of the best blogs out there related to Windows forensics and incident response. So shout out to Harlan Carvey. Thank you, Harlan, for the idea and all of your work. And yeah, hope you enjoyed it. See you in the next video. Have a good one. Bye bye.